Greetings, science fans! Bill Nye here on behalf of my friend V. Today we're diving nose first into the fascinating world of weird smells. We're talking about the bizarre odors produced by certain chemicals, rotten eggs, decaying fish, even dead bodies. Ever wondered why some smells are so unforgettable? It's all about chemistry and how molecules interact with receptors in your nose. Get ready to explore the science behind these malodorous molecules, what they are, where they come from, and why they smell the way they do. Your understanding of stinky stuff is about to get a serious upgrade. Let's get started. Let's start with a classic hydrogen sulfide or H2S, the rotten egg smell. Eggs are rich in sulfur proteins. When they rot, bacteria break them down, releasing hydrogen sulfide. You'll also find H2S in swamps, sewers, volcanic gases, and even some well water. Anywhere organic matter decays without much oxygen, the chemical formula is H2S, 2 hydrogens, 1 sulfur. That sulfur atom is the real culprit. Our noses are extremely sensitive to sulfur compounds, an evolutionary advantage, since many dangerous things release them. H2S is a key player in the Earth's sulfur cycle, but it's also a warning sign. At high concentrations, it's toxic and can paralyze your respiratory system. Fun fact: our noses can detect H2S at just a few parts per billion, but at higher dangerous levels, it can actually numb your sense of smell, a phenomenon called olfactory fatigue. That's why industrial sites monitor it closely. The rotten egg smell comes from the shape of the H2S molecule fitting perfectly into specific olfactory receptors. It's a tiny molecular interaction with a big impact. So, hydrogen sulfide is a natural product of decay, a volcanic emission, and an industrial hazard. Its unforgettable odor is a testament to the power of sulfur chemistry and our sensitive noses. Science is everywhere, even in the stinkiest of smells. Next time you smell rotten eggs, remember, it's chemistry's way of saying stay away. Whether in nature or industry, H2S is a small molecule with a big message. Our noses are tuned to protect us, and hydrogen sulfide is a perfect example. That's the science behind one of the world's most notorious stinks. Let's move on to our next pungent player. Next up, ammonia, NH3. If you've cleaned with strong products or smelled a litter box, you know its sharp, eye-watering punch. Ammonia is a compound of nitrogen and hydrogen, vital for fertilizers, plastics, textiles, and cleaning agents. It's also produced naturally when organic matter, especially animal waste, breaks down. That strong ammonia smell in old urine, bacteria breaking down urea and proteins. Ammonia's sharpness comes from its alkalinity. It irritates mucous membranes, triggering a burning sensation and a strong back-away response. Our noses detect ammonia at low concentrations, which is important since high levels can be hazardous. Ammonia is even found in the atmospheres of Jupiter and Saturn. The NH3 molecule's shape and polarity make it a perfect fit for our olfactory receptors, sending a clear, pungent signal to the brain. So ammonia is more than just a stinky gas, it's essential for agriculture, industry, and even cosmic chemistry. Its unforgettable smell is a direct result of its molecular structure and reactivity. Next time you catch a whiff, remember, it's chemistry in action, right under your nose. On to our next notorious odor. Now let's talk about trimethylamine, or TMA, the infamous fishy smell. TMA is an amine 3 methyl groups attached to a nitrogen atom. Many amines are known for their fishy or ammoniacal odors. In saltwater fish, TMA comes from the breakdown of trimethylamine oxide TMAO after death, thanks to bacteria and enzymes. Fresh fish barely smells, but as TMA builds up, that fishy odor intensifies, a clear sign of spoilage. Your nose is a sensitive freshness detector, picking up TMA even in tiny amounts. TMA isn't just in fish. Some people have a metabolic disorder called trimethylaminuria, or fish odor syndrome, where TMA builds up in the body and is released in sweat, urine, and breath. The smell is pungent and penetrating partly because TMA is volatile and easily reaches your nose. Structurally, TMA is related to ammonia, and our noses are especially sensitive to these amines. Even small amounts make a big impression. So, TMA is a product of bacterial action, a sign of decay, and even a rare human condition. Next time you smell something fishy, think of the tiny TMA molecules at work. Chemistry and biology team up to create some truly memorable odors. Whether in seafood or in rare metabolic conditions, TMA is a powerful signal. Our noses are tuned to detect it for good reason. That's the science behind the fishy stench. Let's keep going. Now for Skatole, one of the main chemicals behind the smell of feces. Skatole, or 3-methylindole, is produced in our digestive tracts when bacteria break down tryptophan from foods like turkey and cheese. At high concentrations it's unmistakably foul, but at very low concentrations it can actually smell floral and is even used in perfumes. This dual nature shows how concentration changes our perception of a molecule. Skatole is also an attractant for certain insects like flies and mosquitoes. What we find repulsive, they find interesting. Its structure, a methyl group on an indole ring, interacts with specific olfactory receptors, triggering that strong response. So, Skatole is a natural product of digestion, a key part of an odor we instinctively avoid and, in tiny doses, a surprising fragrance ingredient. It's a reminder that chemistry is all about context and concentration. Even the most unpleasant smells have fascinating stories. Our noses are tuned to detect Skatole for good reason. From digestion to perfume, it's a molecule with a split personality. That's the science behind one of life's least pleasant but most interesting odors. Onward to the next stinky star. Next, let's tackle butyric acid, the smell of rancid butter and, yes, vomit. Butyric acid, or butanoic acid, is a short-chain fatty acid with the formula CH3H2O. It's produced when fats break down, especially in spoiled butter or fatty foods. That sour, acrid smell is a natural warning, don't eat this. Our aversion is likely evolutionary, steering us away from spoiled, potentially harmful food. Butyric acid is also present in vomit, contributing to its pungent aroma. Despite its reputation, butyric acid and its derivatives are important for gut health produced when bacteria ferment fiber in our colon. Inside the body it's beneficial, outside it's a sign of spoilage. Its volatility and acidic nature make it especially potent to our noses. So, butyric acid is both a chemical warning and a vital metabolite. Context is everything in chemistry. Even the worst smells have a purpose and a story. Let's see what's next on our olfactory adventure. Now let's meet the champions of stink thiols, also known as mercaptans. If you've smelled a skunk or the odor added to natural gas, you've experienced thiols. Structurally, they're like alcohols, but with sulfur instead of oxygen, RSH instead of RO. That sulfur atom makes all the difference, creating some of the most potent odors known. Skunk spray is loaded with thiols, which our noses can detect at parts per billion or even trillion. This makes skunk spray an incredibly effective defense. Thiols bind to proteins in hair and clothes, making the smell hard to remove. But thiols aren't just for skunks. Gas companies add them to odorless natural gas for safety, so leaks can be detected quickly. A bad smell can be a lifesaver. Thiols also appear in foods and drinks like coffee and grapefruit, where they add subtle flavors. The SH bond is key to their reactivity and their powerful interaction with our olfactory receptors. Our noses are exquisitely tuned to pick up these sulfur-containing molecules. Thiols show how even tiny molecules can have a huge impact. From skunks to safety, their chemistry is both practical and pungent. Sometimes, the stinkiest molecules are the most important. Let's finish with the ultimate in macabre odors. Finally, let's talk about Cadaverine and Putrescine, the unmistakable smell of decaying flesh. These diamines are produced when bacteria break down amino acids in dead tissue. Cadaverine from lysine, Putrescine from ornithine. Their names say it all. They're nature's warning signals of decomposition. The smell is deeply repulsive, likely an evolutionary adaptation to keep us away from potential pathogens. These molecules are also found in small amounts in living bodies, playing roles in cell growth. But it's their buildup during decay that creates the overwhelming stench. They're also responsible for some cases of bad breath and certain infections. Their volatility and amine structure make them especially potent to our noses. Even simple molecules can trigger powerful visceral reactions. Cadaverine and Putrescine are stark reminders of the chemistry of life and death. Our noses evolved to detect them for survival. The science of smell takes us to some dark but fascinating places. Let's wrap up our aromatic adventure. We've journeyed through the world of stinky chemicals, from rotten eggs to fish, feces, rancid butter, skunks, and decay. Every weird smell has a chemical story and a purpose, whether it's a warning, a sign of spoilage, or even a benefit in disguise. Understanding these molecules and how they interact with our noses reveals the elegant science behind even the most unpleasant odors. What's the weirdest smell you've ever encountered? Share your stories in the comments. Thanks for joining me, Bill Nye, on behalf of V. Until next time, keep exploring the science all around you.